Hi everyone. It's a beautiful day out here in the park, and given the economic uncertainty that's been developing for the past months in the US primarily, well, in the world as well, just wanted to talk about certain things that young people should be avoiding in their life. So if you're just graduated high school around that age of 17 to 20, just graduated high school, thinking about going to college, or maybe already going to some kind of college, getting a degree, this is going to be the most relevant for you. So, some traps that people get stuck in for the most of their life is not having a clear path throughout life. Is when I was around 20 years old, I thought I would become a millionaire by the age of 30, but well, life just doesn't work that way, where you're 20 years old and think somehow magically you will become a millionaire 10, 15 years afterwards, somehow without any kind of plan that you have set in action. So that's one of the biggest mistakes I see young people do in their life. Them thinking if they just keep working the same job and doing the same thing as they're doing in their 20s, they magically are gonna just level up in life and become a better version of themselves. That unfortunately doesn't happen. So please don't ever get stuck in a dead end job where the most that you will achieve is probably just a bit of a pay raise compared to what you're making now, and maybe a health insurance at your job, and that's about it. So always try to improve your skills that you have right now, or learn a new skill, learn a new trade, which will guarantee some kind of a significant pay raise down the road. Try to connect and network with as many different people as possible, so you never know where you might end up in the future. So don't ever burn the bridges. Try to improve. If you set on going to college, please pick a field of study that's actually gonna guarantee you some kind of employment in the future. I know colleges and universities have career advisors, I think they call them, or used to call them. But those people are just doing their job suggesting the field of study, but they themselves don't really have that life experience required to actually give that meaningful advice. So I would be more cautious of choosing a field of study within some kind of liberal arts or something less technical, I would say. As bad as it sounds, it's most of those liberal arts majors, they're not gonna make you a lot of money in the future, and you might have to switch fields if you're in one of those liberal arts fields. So just be careful with your choice of career, your future career. Building off of that is people getting into graduate school just for the sake of going to graduate school without realizing why they even need that additional degree in the first place. That ends up in people just taking up additional student loans and just not being able to pay them off afterwards. As you know, the biggest issue with the student loans is even if you ever declare bankruptcy, the student loans are not gonna get wiped out. Your mortgage on a house, your car loan, or any other type of personal loan, even medical debt, is gonna get wiped out in case you declare bankruptcy. But student loans are gonna stay with you forever, pretty much. So just be really careful what you borrow your money for and what you go to school for. Some people just go to graduate school right after getting their bachelor's degree, just so they can kind of delay that period of them becoming a real adult and trying to make it in the world. So if you know the actual purpose for you to getting the master's degree or just continuing your education, if it's worth it, if you're trying to be a doctor or someone, or you're trying to become a like a scientist, like a some kind of genius in biotech or physics, that's another story. But if you're just getting your master's in political science or psychology, well, that's probably not gonna work out for you. So that times have changed. Back, if you look at back at 30 years ago, maybe a person having a master's degree was actually an advantage in the work field. But as of right now, the times have changed. The job market has changed. So it's only dependent on what type of skills you possess mainly. And you probably heard a lot of those stories of people landing their jobs at those big tech companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, just with the skills, the coding skills that they had or learned throughout the way, even without going to college. So it is still relevant, but at least a bachelor's in computer science wouldn't hurt. But I'll go in somewhere else or continuing your education, just be careful with that. Another thing is people get stuck in life is buying something that they really don't need. That's mainly cars that people drive. That is, see people driving, especially young kids driving those sports cars, some kind of Mustang or Dodge. People just want to show off, thinking the car itself is gonna make them look cooler or feel cooler. And the new car is nice, of course. The fast car is nice, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's just a car. The whole point of having a car is just getting you from point A to point B. So it doesn't matter how nice your car is or how old your car is. If it runs well, if it doesn't have any mechanical issues, then I don't see any reason in buying a 60k car just so you can show off in front of your friends and some random people. And then a lot of people also roll over the negative equity that they have from their existing car loan into a brand new car loan so they can upgrade their cars every couple of years. That's another huge mistake. A lot of people don't even know what their interest rate on a car loan, which is terrifying. I came across this issue just casually talking to the people around me, people I know, and I watch a couple of guys on Instagram who have their own car dealerships, and people reach out to them trying to get out of bad car deals or trying to upgrade their cars for no significant reason, just so they can have that new car. But they don't realize sometimes their monthly payment on a car alone, not including insurance and gas, is probably a half or a third of their monthly income, and this is terrible. By spending a half of your monthly income on just a car, you're basically delaying that point in life where you can actually build up that significant wealth amount and be able to retire. And that's pretty unfortunate. Just spending so much on something that doesn't actually bring you any cash flow. Like a car is not an apartment, it's not a condo, it's not a house that you can rent out and have a monthly income. Yes, you can rent out your car on platforms like Turo, but are you still putting a lot of miles in your car and wear and tear on the car, or some accidents happen and you just basically wasting your money on something that is not helping you move up in the world, move up in that ladder. Another trap that I observe young people get stuck into is choosing the wrong partner and parents way too early on in life. Sometimes I see young kids right out of high school, or just kids who barely turned 20 years old, who are already becoming parents. Some people become single parents, and that I know parents are spending a lot of time on a lot of their energy, most of their finances on raising the kid, and as every parent should do. But spending most of your finances on a young kid when you're also a young kid yourself in your 20s, early 20s, again delays your progress in life. So just be mindful of who you choose as a partner, as your boyfriend or girlfriend, or even your spouse, and just be mindful of who you choose to have kids with. So that's another trap that I wanted to mention in this video. So overall, just be mindful of your spending, be mindful of who you socialize with, be mindful of who you partner with. All of that, your environment, that also creates a person who you are. So if you're socializing with people mainly who are not trying to become a better version of themselves, not trying to move up somewhere in life, that means you're one of those people as well who is not going anywhere pretty much. So even if you don't have those people in your life who you can look up to, it's just the way it is. There are always people online making helpful YouTube videos, writing books that you can get the information from and trying to move up in life. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed your week, and see you in the next video.